Okay, cool. Yeah, so I went to Glenfield College. Grew up on the North Shore. I've always been interested in local politics, but I didn't really know it. So local issues, making changes, but young people have been my main focus in my sort of volunteer life and my work life, working as a youth worker part-time, and my main focus is on the local board. I've been engaging young people and the focus on cycling and public transport. So the reason I'm standing for the North Shore Ward as well as the local board is maybe trying to get some of those younger views and issues into the council table, because it is a little bit depressing sometimes when you go there and it is largely the same voices talking about the same things. So yeah, for me my passion is just changing the political structure into a little bit more of a positive space where people feel like they're empowered to make change as opposed to just hear the same people complaining about the same stuff. So. Affecting youth, definitely something to do and somewhere to be. Public transport's a big one, and walking and cycling connections, the sort of things that young people tell us that they need to see improved, and things that happen for them in the area, which we've been trying to work on the last 6 years on the local board.
Namely transport. Actually, I'd like the local government to sort out the transport issue.
Public transport?
Yeah, it's just the one thing, the uptake. So the uptake's really good, but they literally can't build enough buses to keep up with the demand. So we added about 4,500 seats last year to just Oniwa Road, the link there, and it's increasing, but with a new network, which we've consulted on, it's still a whole other year until that comes on board, which is basically 15-minute services from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. So it's just not being able to keep up with the demand. So I think Auckland Transport's doing a good job trying to. I'm having a meeting with them tomorrow about getting double deckers in our area on Glenfield and Oniwa Road and that sort of thing, but it's still just keeping up with the uptake, because it's been a massive increase in use in the last 6 years, but it's just, yeah, keeping up with the demand is the main issue, and I think that if we can do that, it's will be quite successful.
Yeah, I think as a student, most of the issues that the council are concerned with are the kind of older generation, like the ratepayers and those type of people. So since the vast majority of students are flatting, they're not concerned with those people.
My experience with talking to younger people, like we set up children's panels and youth panels in the high schools, and the main thing is that it sort of seems quite negative, doesn't really involve them. A lot of younger people think that you need to be a ratepayer to vote in the local elections, so if you're not a ratepayer, not directly, you think, oh, maybe I've got nothing to say here. And I think most of the media cover those sorts of issues like rates, like debt, and the negativity between other councillors, so it sort of seems like it's not that important. But when you drill down and start talking to a lot of younger people about it, it's about public transport, it's about the sports clubs and the sports fields, and if the area is safe or the town centre is a good place to be in, and then they start to realise how much that local government can affect where they live and how they live, almost more than sort of central government does, because you can actually affect change pretty fast just in your local area.
Chloe Schreiber, who's going for mayor, she's compared youth to like a sleeping giant in terms of the potential in being voters. Do you sort of agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. If that large group of under 30s basically got out and actually voted, they could change the whole thing. Voting turnout is so low that even a 5% or 10% pickup of more voter turnout, which if those were just young people, they could completely change the who gets in. So usually, especially in the council elections, it's sort of maybe 500 to 1,000 votes in it between the top two polling and the next sort of 3 or 4. So it's, even if half or quarter of the number of young people increased, it would be a massive change.
Because I don't think it directly affects me, and I have no idea who's running or anything about it, and no one's bothered to try and inform me on it, so it's kind of just staying out of my way.
Yeah, so I've been trying to, and I think I'm about the only North Shore candidate anyway that's really doing a lot of social media stuff, so on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. That will help a little bit, but it doesn't help a lot. I kind of have tried to let people know, younger people, especially my mates and people that I'm connected with, what we actually do, what's happening throughout the term. So it's not just about the campaign. Like people kind of, see you for 2 months and then go, where were they the other 3 years? So we've been I've set up children's panels and students panels, so the first in Auckland, for our local board area. Obviously they can't vote now, but hopefully engaging them now on the issues, the local things, and seeing, I complained about this walkway and now it's getting fixed up, or we helped design this park and now 5 years later we've got a park that we designed as our school group or whatever. Like hopefully that will engage them now, and then they'll vote when they reach voting age. The other thing is we're setting up the first youth centre on the shore. So, and then we did that engaging about 400 young people from our local schools and actually letting them choose what's in it, what it's going to be for. Things like that, where there's actually real results, not just, we like young people or something like that. So it's not immediate, it's trying to engage on as many levels as you can, but it is hard because of those wider issues. You can only do what you can, and then the kind of overall media takes over with maybe the messages they think people want to hear around rates and about debt and about the infighting or whatever, and then it kind of can suppress all the other kind of good stuff that's happening. So I've been trying to have a positive campaign where young people might feel like, that might be a good reason to vote, instead of just something to vote against all the time. We're putting the boardroom in for the youth board and a creative room. Half the one side of the building is basically toilets at the moment, just really old school toilets, but we're condensing them down. Have the same number of toilets, but it's just using the space better, so you're able to put an art room on the back and an office space on the front, and then some study space, putting a commercial kitchen in so people can learn how to cook